Well, hey everyone. For those who are checking out this video for the first time, my name is Brandon and I'm one of the pastors here at Embrace. And I just want to take a few moments to talk about the sacraments with you. For a lot of people, if you didn't grow up in church, you may have no idea what the sacraments are. And for those who come from different church traditions, we've learned or heard different things about the sacraments. And so we just want to take a moment to share what we believe at Embrace Church. And at Embrace, we believe in two sacraments, Holy Baptism and Holy Communion. And sacraments are basically sacred moments where we encounter God's blessing, God's love, God's presence in a very special and unique way. Sacraments aren't just something that we do as Christians, but they're also something that God does in us and for us. So in Holy Baptism, we believe that three covenants are taking place in the act of baptism. In baptism, you have someone who's making a profession of faith. That in that moment, they are making a covenant with God and they are telling other people that, hey, I'm going to follow Jesus with my life. And they're making a commitment in that. Along with the covenant that they're making, we as a church family are making a covenant with them as well. To say, hey, we're going to support you in your baptism and we're going to help you as you walk with Christ. That as you follow Him, we're going to support you by praying for you, by worshiping with you, by encouraging you. And so we're making a commitment to them as well. But also in baptism, as that person is making a commitment to Christ, God is also making a commitment to them. That when you are baptized, you become a part of God's covenant family. And within that, God is making a commitment to you as well. And so with that, we always like to share and let people know that your baptism is always valid. There are a lot of people that I know who've gotten baptized like 19 times in their life. And part of that is their understanding of baptism. It's just something that I do for God. And so anytime that we have we backslide, or anytime in our life where we stumble in our walk with Christ, or we do things that we're not supposed to do, there are a lot of people who feel like, well, I need to get re-baptized because I've messed up. Well, if our baptisms are only valid because of our behavior, then we're all in trouble, okay? And we would all need to get baptized a lot. But what we want to encourage you is that, yes, there may be times where you need to renew your commitment to Christ and you need to renew your baptismal vows. Your baptism is always valid because your baptism wasn't just about you making a commitment to Christ, but it was also about God making a commitment to you. And that nothing can undo that. That baptism is always valid because it's founded on God's grace and God's commitment to you. Similarly, with Holy Communion, as in Holy Communion, it's not just about us doing something for God, it's also about what God is doing in us and through us. Here at Embrace, we have Holy Communion every single week, and we believe in an open communion table, meaning we welcome anybody and everybody to receive the body and blood of Christ. And part of the reason we believe that is we believe communion is a means of God's grace, that it's a way that we receive God's love and God's presence and God's power into our life. It's not something that we do for Him. It's something that we receive because He's offered it to us. And so no matter who you are, no matter what you've done, you are welcome to receive communion each week because we believe it's a way that we receive God's grace, that it's about what He's done for us. And so every week, when we take the bread and the cup, what we're doing is we are remembering what Jesus has done for us. We're remembering who He is. We're remembering His death on the cross, His resurrection. We're remembering His grace and His love that He's poured out into our lives as individuals and as a faith community. So we remember Him and we receive that grace. That's what we do every single week when we receive communion. And hey, if you have kids, they are also welcome to receive communion. And for them, the easiest way to explain to them is that you just tell them, as you eat this bread, as you drink from this cup, it's just us remembering that God loves us and that God's love is unconditional and unlimited. Again, we hope that this short teaching on the sacraments has been helpful and encouraging to you. And if you have any other questions, please do not hesitate to contact us. We'd be glad to help you in any way that we can. Have a great day.